I am in for next 6 days. I can't share. I can't post. So I need your help. We average about 200 shares, about 500 views an episode at least. So I need you guys to help me out. And the best way to run these views up is to tag people in a post. You can tag up to 50 people in a cell phone post, but if you're on a tablet or a laptop, you can tag 100 people. That's fucking dope. But please share this to your newsfeed, your Facebook stories, share this to group, send this to like-minded people in Messenger, and tag people. Please. If you know somebody who got the same type of personality as you, then they'll like the show. So tag them in it. Now, as always, I start and end every episode with community resource information, food pantry, soup kitchen schedules, childcare, and emergency care services. If you, a friend, a family member, a loved one need any of these resources, utilize them. That's what they're there for. Also, if you're a local artist, small business owner, musician, whatever, you trying to get your business, product, or services promoted, contact me, Aaron Oneida, for sponsorship packages starting as little as $10 per episode, $40 for the week. Packages vary, but they include logo design, graphic design, video editing, voiceovers, podcasts, custom merchandise, social media promotion, and more. Just hit me up. Now, as always, I start and end. I just start the end. Motherfucker. I start every episode with the weather. That way you know how to dress for the day. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold, windy, rainy? I don't know, but now we'll know. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Thanks, Sheena. The sun is up and the sky is ridiculous right now. Behind us, this is our camera in East Providence. It is an array of colors right now, Michelle.
It's beautiful. It's not the only live camera that's showing off a gorgeous sunrise. So I want to take you on a little tour here. This is Narragansett Town Beach with the sun about to peek up over the horizon. Official sunrise time 5:17 this morning. And here's Newport. There we go with those beautiful colors. Helped along with the colorful sky by some high cirrus clouds that are coming in, the light reflecting off of them and creating those gorgeous views this morning. We have a beautiful start in New Bedford. Harbor there. Our threat tracker is in the green for today, Friday, and on Saturday. We do have some changes ahead after another dry and pleasant day today. The humidity on the rise, allowing for some morning fog, drizzle, and even a spot shower tomorrow. Breezy and humid, better shot for showers Friday night and on Saturday. Now they'll be scattered. It's a few showers in the morning and then maybe a second round in the afternoon or evening. It's not a total washout, but it's our most unsettled day of the long weekend. Our temperatures this morning, now this could be as cool as we'll see for quite a while. Next 7 days going to be much warmer in the nighttime hours. So crisp start in Taunton and New Bedford, 49 in Providence and 45 in Westerly with still light winds. They do pick up as the day goes on. High temperatures today, upper 60s inland. We're going to be seeing some slightly cooler temperatures along the coastline, and the winds out of the south and southeast will turn up a notch and be around 10 to 15 miles per hour this morning with some gusts 20 to 25. So those south winds will continue to bring up some rising humidity. You'll really notice it tomorrow, that muggy air in place Saturday as well. And then we get a little break on Sunday and Monday behind this frontal system. This is what's going to give us the scattered showers as we look ahead to your Saturday. Let's look to today though. So those high clouds passing through this morning. Temperatures by noontime in the middle and upper 60s inland, lower 60s along the coastline, about 68 though in New Bedford, Providence at 66. Mind those cooler winds off the water will be traveling right up the bay today as they're from the south. So some low 70s well inland, but staying in the 60s along the bay and along the coastline this afternoon. So clouds will be on the increase. Stay much warmer by tomorrow morning. Some patchy drizzle possible. This is 7 o'clock. It's a little bit damp and murky tomorrow morning, holding on to mainly cloudy skies, but mostly dry for the Friday afternoon. Temperatures a little warmer, lower and middle 70s for highs. Coastline still going to be held in the 60s. And then tomorrow night, our shower chances going up. Look at the winds tomorrow out of the south-southwest, gusting to around 30 miles per hour. So here's the bigger view as we head into your Friday. You can see those scattered showers west of us Friday. We'll push in Friday night and on Saturday, with most of those showers moving through by the time you wake up on Sunday morning. So the 7-day forecast has some nice weather looking ahead to the second half of the weekend. Mid-70s Saturday, upper 70s on Sunday, and close to 80 on Memorial Day. Beaches will be in the upper 60s to low 70s.
68 degrees today, 71 degrees tomorrow, but it's going to be over 80 for Memorial Day weekend. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday going to be the best. Saturday going to be a little fucking rainy. But, hey, that's neither here nor there, right? Now, if I tagged you in the comments, please share this out for me. I'd appreciate it. Now, speaking of comments, let me get to the comments. My sister says, good morning. Good morning, sis. I'd appreciate it if you share. Thank you. Everybody, at least get 10 shares out for me. If we get fucking 20 people to share 10 times, we'll hit the 200 share mark. If we get 10 people to share 20 times, word will hit the fucking 200 mark. I need your people's help. David Engel says, good morning, everyone. Liked and shared. David, tag people in a post for me. I'd appreciate it. Hit share, hit right post, and then you can tag people. It mean a lot. Everybody tag people. Tag people. Shouts to Matthew Scott, who shared this out to groups for me and tagged a bunch of people in the comments. Everybody, do that for me, please. Follow Matthew Scott's lead. My sister said, I already shared you pain in my ass. I agree, sis. I'm a huge pain in the ass. Just try to tag like-minded individuals for me. I'd appreciate it. Kim Texera Richardson says, when can you come over for a barbecue? What? Well, Kim, I don't know. Yeah, about that. It's barbecue season. Now, Brian Garthia says, good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Brian. Can you please share this out for me? Share it to groups, newsfeed, messenger, tag people in a post. Let's get these views up. You already know. Jose Santiago says, good morning, everyone. Let's go green. Yeah, come on, man. You know this. Yes, you know this. Now, yesterday we had a serious show. I was talking about the Texas school shooting where some punk ass shitbag shot up the school, killing 19 children and 2 teachers. This has caused a lot of gun control conversations in the country. More gun restriction talk and the backlash of possible changes to the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Jill and I will be traveling to Texas in the coming days to meet with the families and let them know we have a sense, just a sense of their pain, and hopefully bring some little comfort to the community in shock, in grief, and in trauma. As a nation, I think we all must be there for them, everyone. And we must ask, when in God's name will we do what needs to be done to, if not completely stop, fundamentally change the amount of the carnage that goes on in this country? To state the obvious, and Corey and a lot of other people here, I'm sick and tired. I'm just sick and tired of what's going on and continues to go on. I spent my career as chairman of the Judiciary Committee and as a vice president working for common sense gun reforms. As I said, as a senator and a vice president. While they clearly will not prevent every tragedy, we know certain ones will have significant impact and have no negative impact on the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment's not absolute. When it was passed, you couldn't own a cannon. You couldn't own certain kinds of weapons. It's just always been limitations. But guess what? These actions we've taken before, they saved lives, and they can do it again. The idea that an 18-year-old can walk into a store and buy weapons of war designed and marketed to kill is, I think, just wrong. It just violates common sense. Even the manufacturer, the inventor of that weapon, thought that as well. You know, where's the backbone? Where's the courage to stand up to a very powerful lobby?
Okay, so Biden woke up to do a speech about the Second Amendment. Him and his wife, Jill, will take a nap on the plane to go down to Texas to have a speech with some of these victims. It's unfortunate. Now, Roger Payton says new information coming out of the Texas police response to the situation. Bystanders to the scene are claiming the police waited before entering the school, and now trust for the police out there is breaking. Yes, there's more reports coming out that the police officers in that town went into the school while the school shooter was still in the building and got their own kids out first before going back in there to get the school shooter, which is unfortunate, but I see a parent putting their child first. But in that type of job, you should treat everybody the same. Brian Gauthier says, sad. I agree. And Matthew Scott says to Roger, true. I just seen that actually waking up today. There's a couple posts about it. Don't trust cops. Now, I've said before, there's bad cops, good cops. I've dealt with a lot of bad ones, but I've also dealt with good ones. So we just got to clear out the bad apples, people. But Biden's talking about new federal gun laws, and other people are talking about it too, but it might be difficult. It's going to be hard. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Lawmakers in this state have passed some of the toughest gun laws in the country, but many agree that changing federal law would be quite difficult.
We're the first state in the nation to regulate firearms like a consumer product.
The horrific shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary prompted lawmakers here to act in 2014, passing stricter gun laws.
Training, licensing, renewable licensing, safety features.
John Rosenthal, a gun owner himself, was key in the effort. His organization's prominent billboard on the Mass Pike highlighted the toll of gun violence for years. Almost a decade later, there's been little meaningful change nationwide.
I know what that feels like.
Today, Parkland school shooting survivor Elia Vasquez talked with students in Freetown, remembering how quickly the national conversation faded.
People move on really fast from these things, and they kind of like, they'll be there for that moment, and then they'll be gone.
We should try to find 10 Republicans who will stand up to the NRA. I doubt that's going to happen.
Senator Ed Markey is pushing for tougher national laws, but the Gun Owners Action League says mental health should be the focus.
It won't matter if we just take away access to whatever gun. They'll find a way to cause harm.
The Democrats' path to passing stricter gun laws is narrow, prompting some activists to instead focus on elections.
If people come out and vote, we may get a majority in Congress who are willing to prioritize life and public safety.
Some Democrats are also calling to eliminate the filibuster to pass tougher laws, but at this point, that does not look likely. We're live at the State House tonight. John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
Thanks, John.
So, one of the Parkland High School survivors had a conversation in Freetown, right next door, about possible gun laws and trying to lobby people to do federal changes to the gun laws. Now, let me get to this next video about how parents, if you have a child, how you can speak to your children about school shootings without terrifying them. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
And this senseless tragedy has again opened the door for a hard but necessary conversation between parents and their children. 22 News reporter Christina Demores joins us live in the newsroom. And Christina, you spoke with a local mental health expert about how parents can help their kids process the mass shooting in Texas.
That's right, Ciara. I spoke with someone at the Gandara Center who said it begins with the parents, adding parents need to make sure that their mental health is in check so their kids can be as well.
19 students and 2 teachers killed in a shooting at a Texas elementary school. It's another horrific event weighing on both parents and their kids. And as images of gun violence seem to be everywhere, mental health experts sharing how families can address this tragedy.
Observe first if their children know anything about what happened. They might not, even though the information is everywhere and everybody is talking about it. And also, if you have more than one child, to try and address the issue or the event with them separate.
How you speak with your child and the questions you ask them does depend on their age, according to experts. And they also say don't push the topic if your child does not want to talk about it. Vargas recommends that parents keep it simple with children 6 and younger when explaining what happened. Maintain calmness to keep your child at ease and reassure them that they are in fact safe. Children between 7 and 11, ask them what they have heard so far, what they are thinking, and what they are feeling, and if they have any specific questions. Try to also focus on positive things happening. And for teenagers, Vargas says let them express their opinions. Listen to them and also share your own opinions to create a dialogue.
We cannot promise our children that this is not going to happen again, but we can promise that we will always be there for them. It's very important for them to be reassured that this is the truth.
Vargas says for all ages, remind your kids at all times that everything in their environment is okay. They are safe and their loved ones are safe.
And parents can also talk with their child's teachers about how they can appropriately address the mass shooting as well. Working for you tonight, Christina Demores, 22 News.
Why are we lying to these kids, telling these kids that the shit's safe? It's not safe. Unfortunately, we know that. And that's why I say in 10 years from now, we will have remote schooling for all the kids because we realize that this shit is not safe. And gun crime is only skyrocketing in the country. But some schools locally are figuring out a way to make the schools safer against school shootings. But before I play a video on what Attleboro High School is doing, let me get to the comments. Jose says it's not safe. Schools are going to become a remote learning thing. I agree. The more we hear about it, the more that conversation comes back up. Matthew Scott says, I like the National Gun League's response on this. If mental health instead of gun control was the focus of America, you'd have less shootings in schools and elsewhere. I say it all the time. Mental health classes in schools from kindergarten to senior year. Let's teach this next generation of school-aged children how to address mental illness, how to understand mental health episodes, how to have empathy and sympathy. That will teach people how to identify their own issues and cope with that. But let's see how Attleboro High School is making their school safe. And should we have done this at Durfee with our $293 million school? And when we build Diamond, which has been passed, Should we utilize this technology that Attleboro High has? Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Ben, good evening. This new high school here in Attleboro cost $250 million. It's going to open this fall. The mayor says it includes some of the latest security technology available. In fact, even the walls are listening for gunfire. Attleboro's new high school will have fewer entrances than traditional schools, and the main entrance will have a lobby where reception staff are protected behind bulletproof glass. And throughout the halls and classrooms, electronic sensors will be on alert for gunshots.
Shot detected.
A company based in Raleigh, Massachusetts makes the system, which not only listens for gunshots, but also uses infrared sensors to look for them. The system then calculates where the shots are coming from.
We're going to be able to tell you within 40 feet of that sensor where that shot occurred.
At a cost of $500,000 plus an annual $20,000 service fee, Attleboro has already started installing the systems in its 9 current schools.
Because historically, when there were school shootings, the police might not know from 5 to 15 minutes that there's even an active shooter, and at that point, that's when they start to respond.
I thought they were going to install metal detectors, but
would you like metal detectors in addition?
I mean, it would be nice to have it.
Security analyst Todd McGee says metal detectors and shot detectors can only react to shootings. He says schools would be better off using technology to look for potential shooters before they ever pick up a gun.
We should be looking at things like social media monitoring for threats. Algorithms can track certain keywords, certain key phrases.
The mayor here says that the schools are also looking into possibly installing some weapons detection systems. Now, these would not be the traditional airport-style metal detectors, but rather turnstiles that scan people as they pass through. Live in Attleboro, David Beanick, WCVB News Center.
So I think that technology, in my opinion, is better than showing a heavy police force in the school with armed guards or metal detectors. Some people can get weapons through metal detectors. Or say you got a knife. You wrap a knife up in aluminum foil. The aluminum foil reflects and rejects and repels the technology in a metal detector. I know because I've done it before. But I think that's a dope idea for Attleboro High School. I think that we should put some money into Durfee and Diamond for doing the same. But like I said, schools will be remote in the next decade. Now, Gene says, good morning, trying to set up an interview with the new chief to ask how he's going to address the bad cops, shooting, bullying, community safety, get him on the record so we can see what changes. That'd be dope, Gene. Can't wait to check that out. Shouts to Motor Cop Chronicles podcast, who says, share it out for you. I appreciate you. And everybody go check out the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. Go check that out and like and follow his page. Now, Holly McNamara says, that's a great idea. I really like what Attleboro presented. Absolutely. I think it's dope. You know what I mean? You got the sensors, so you know where the shot is. And you could track the shooter that way. It gives an automatic response that's 5 to 10 minutes faster, which could save lives. But I don't know. I keep looking towards the fucking remote learning. You can't shoot nobody through a laptop. All the kids wouldn't have to worry about that. And if you want the social interaction with children, hey, fucking field trips. The money that's saved on maintenance in the school buildings, on, janitors and all of this extra shit, security guards, school resource officers, that money could be put into field trips that highlight local attractions in the city and in the nearby communities. Now, Rizzo from the local Rizzo says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Rizzo. Share this out for me, and I'd appreciate if you tag some people. It means a lot. Neeson D'Souza says ceramic guns have been a thing since Bond's era. Yes, but I believe that with ceramic guns, you only have a few shots and then it kind of like melts the ceramic. But, hey, I don't know. Now, we got one more thing. Well, two more things on this. We have an NBA Stars reaction, and we have a bunch of Republicans going to an NRA meeting about the National Rifle Association. You got 19 kids killed, and they're going to go to a gun convention. Makes sense. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
And ahead of their convention in Houston now, the NRA is responding to the mass shooting in Texas. The organization says they're praying for the victims, and they're pledging to redouble their commitment to make schools secure. Guns will be allowed to be openly carried during their convention. However, they will not be allowed during former President Trump's visit, which will take place at that convention sometime this weekend.
We need to start shooting school shooters. Fuck these motherfuckers. You do a school shooting, your life in jail. Fuck out of here. Rizzo says we have to find a better way. And my sister says they don't give a fuck. Like I said, a lot of these conservative Republicans don't give a fuck because the NRA pays for their campaigns. That's the problem. We need to enforce some type of laws that regulate the amount of money donated to a campaign instead of just a lot of anonymous funding. Now, let me get to this star athlete who brought up a good point about guns and baby formula. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Guns shouldn't be as easily accessible. Like, it's easier to get a gun than baby formula right now. That's unbelievable in, this country that we live in. And also for, I don't like bringing things on, about myself, but I have a kid now, and, me and my wife were talking before the game just about, like, how scary it is that you have a child. Obviously, he's not old enough to go to school, but when that does happen, how, crazy the world is and just how much. Honestly, I feel like we all need to pray.
It was on everybody's mind coming into the game. It's kind of hard to, stay focused on going out and playing basketball and knowing, what happened, in this state. And I got kids, send them to school every day, drop them off. And you feel for the parents that are, going through what they're going through. I can't even imagine the pain.
So, people, we all feel the same way. It is heartbreaking. It is frustrating. And we all deserve to be mad about this. We need to be mad about this. Otherwise, shit's not going to change. We can't put our kids in a position or an environment where it's possible that they get killed. It's not cool. It's not fair. There's got to be a better way. We have to figure out something that allows the children to still get an education, but still have social interaction. I don't know, but guess what? There's been online colleges for years that have worked. You see commercials all the time for Arizona State University online. You gotta do better. Just gotta do better. Now, Jose Santiago says school shooters, instead of jail, they should face a firing squad. I agree, especially if you out there fucking killing kids. Now, Flea says, morning, Ryder, shared. I appreciate it. Now listen, everybody share this out for me. We're trying to get up to 200 shares. I'm blocked for the next 6 days from sharing. So we trying to run these views up. So the best way to do it is tag people in a post, tag people in the comments, and share this to groups. I highly would appreciate it. I mean, means the world. I be doing this for you people. I can keep these opinions to myself, but I like the dialogue with all of my viewers, and especially all of you that tune in daily. Means a lot. Now, Neeson D'Souza says, NRA lobbying pays for such an huge amount of Republicans' reelection funds. I saw our bud Mitt Romney get something like $13 million. Absolutely, because the gun companies know that they make billions of dollars a year, so they toss some chump change to these politicians. That way, no laws get changed on restricting guns, and the gun companies can make more money. It's all business. Matt Scott says the right is full of violent individuals. I think both sides are violent. This country is violent. Whether you're red, blue, purple, whatever. Doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative. People get violent. It's life, unfortunately. And we're all humans. But like that one player says in that last clip, baby formula is harder to get than guns. Let's talk about baby formula. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
This morning, the FDA blaming its mailroom for what ultimately led to the baby formula shortage crisis. One of the main producers, Abbott, and the FDA facing tough questions on Capitol Hill yesterday.
I'm actually livid. And quite frankly, it's pretty disgusting what we heard.
Back in October, a former employee sent the FDA a report detailing health violations at Abbott's plant in Michigan. But the FDA says it didn't receive the whistleblower complaint until February, 4 months after it got to the agency's mailroom. The FDA blaming the failure on the lack of staffing due to COVID-19.
Literally, we're blaming the mailroom.
It was too slow, and there were decisions that were suboptimal along the way.
By that time, an infant had already died, and 2 others were hospitalized after drinking formula from the Abbott plant. The FDA then inspected the plant in January, finding, quote, egregiously unsanitary conditions.
Bacteria growing from multiple sites, and many signs of a disappointing lack of attention to the culture of safety in this product that is so essential to the lives of our most precious people.
In mid-February, the FDA closed the Abbott facility and the formula was recalled. Since then, more than 40% of baby formula has been out of stock nationwide. Abbott says it will restart production early next month, but it could take 8 weeks, possibly until the end of July, before store shelves are restocked.
I'm not surprised it's going to take you a while to get your act together and clean the place up.
Abbott apologizing.
We are deeply sorry, and we are determined to make sure that this never happens again.
In the meantime, the government has flown in more imported formula, and Abbott says it's coordinating 50 flights a week from its plant in Ireland to increase supplies. But many parents say it's too little, too late.
Okay, so Abbott, this company that makes formula for babies, apparently had bacteria and a disgusting facility. So a whistleblower contacted the FDA, but because of the mailroom mix-up, they didn't get the mail. It took months. So now there's only 40% of baby formula on shelves. But the same company that had a horribly filthy factory is sending in baby formula from their other factory in Ireland, which has less health regulations. Plus, we've got millions of formula cans from China. Come on, people. What the fuck? Now, Matt Scott says, politically, I identify as not left or right. The Libertarian Party seems to know how this nation should be run, in my opinion. Now, Gene St. Pierre says, Matt, fuck off with the right being violent. Antifa, BLM weren't right wing, and they killed, burned down businesses, black people. So get off that bullshit. Anyone can be violent. True, anyone can be violent. You have violent groups on the left. Not completely violent. There's been peaceful. But people turned violent. Antifa, BLM. But on the right, you have violence and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. So there's extremes on left and right. We need to find a middle ground instead of being completely divided. With politics being, okay, 50% right, 50% left, us being so divided, we were kind of divided like this back in the day. It caused something called the Civil War. Hopefully we don't lead to that again. Now, Jackie Brown says, Aaron All-Nighter, hands up, you know. Roger Payton says to Gene, you don't acknowledge why the riots happen. That's why we are where we are in America. Racism and hate thrives today. That did when I was a little boy. Police kill black individuals and get away with it. Now, in that sense, yes, cops kill a lot of innocent people, black and white, however. However, black people of color, because they are a minority in this country, if you do percentages based on the population of black and brown people and their amount of shootings, there is a higher percentage, even though there is more white people shot by cops. The percentage isn't as high as black and brown people because there's more white people in general. We just need to make it to the point where cops don't kill people. If cops didn't kill people and were trained better with mental health training and combat training where they can physically defend themselves without using a weapon, we would be better. Teach cops mental health training, gun control, and how to physically defend themselves. Give them some mixed martial art training. They can do it. Mental health in schools from kindergarten to senior year. That would teach people sympathy and empathy. Then you have gun control, where you keep your Second Amendment rights, you keep your guns, but you do 3 months of licensing training where you have gun safety training, target practice training, and 3 months of mental health evaluations to prove that you're stable. Because even if you don't have a mental health background, anything can change your mindset in one day. You know the mindset on life those parents at that elementary school are feeling? Some of those parents might be like, you know what? Fuck the world. I just lost my fucking kid because of this shit. Fuck you. I have nothing else to lose. Shit like that happens all the time. Mental health, people. Eugene says, Roger, you haven't been alive long enough to know, so you're just biased and you call out others for being biased. Well, that last sentence is contradictory. I believe I said that right, but if I didn't, you know what I meant. So Gene is saying that Roger's biased and calls out other people for being biased as well. Why are both people being biased? That's like somebody saying to somebody, well, you're tall. Well, you're tall too. Well, if you're doing the same shit, I don't know. Now, I got some transition right here from mental health to add addiction to mental health issues. And you have a dance off, a little dance show on Plymouth Avenue by a panhandler. So, what happens when you mix mental health issues and addiction? Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Dancing panhandlers lost in the
a
sauce.
Weird Weekends episode about rap.
Can you remember any of the rap that you did?
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure. It makes me wanna dribble dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. But luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red wine. Nice.
Oh, that panhandler was lost in the sauce. Just doing all this weird shit. But hey, mental health issues. Now, my sister says he's saying he hides his biases. Yeah, I guess everybody's hiding their biases. I don't fucking know. I ain't biased to nobody. Do what the fuck you want. I mind my business. Just, you want to have a gun, then have a fucking gun. Just do the right thing with it. If you want to beat somebody up, go ahead. That's on you. You want to get high? Go ahead. That's on you. Roe versus Wade, you want to have an abortion? Fine. That's on you. You want to keep the kid? Fine. That's on you. Me, I don't care. But I recognize the problems in society, and looking at it unbiased, I can see the way to make everybody happy and safe. But what do I know? I'm just a kid from Fall River, right? Now, Jose laughing his ass off about the addict that was lost in the sauce. But we're going to take that and we're going to go to New Bedford real quick. Free Willy was out in New Bedford. Now, if you're too young to know what Free Willy is, it's a big old whale. Now, our water connects to like New Bedford water. So we could have a Free Willy down over here behind me at the battleship. So if you go down to the waterfront, be on the lookout for something like this. Check it out. We'll talk about it. Now look closely. There you go. It was right there. Let's see if it comes up again. Just imagine you just over in the water. You on a boat or something. You fishing. You swimming. Then all of a sudden you see this huge ass splash. You look over. You see Free Willy jumping around. Like this shit's SeaWorld. But hey. Fuck it, Free Willy.
We're about a mile south of Fort Rodman, New Bedford, and there's a juvenile humpback whale.
All right, so little baby humpback whale jumping around. Whales just be having fun for no reason. They just swim, and then out of nowhere just jump up into the air, do a little spin, land back into the water. They're just having fun swimming. But they big as shit. So you gotta be careful if you out in the waters on a little boat. And this motherfucker just wants to have fun and jump. Land next to you or something. So be careful. But where's Jaws? Says Jose Santiago. There has been great white sharks spotted down by the Cape already this year. There's been 2 sightings. So, if you're going down to the beaches, be careful. There's whales and sharks up here now. Now, people ain't going to want to go outside anymore. You have DoorDash food come to your house. You don't got to go out to eat at certain restaurants. I just got a burger last night, actually, from Chili's. Chili's don't have takeout, but guess what? They do on DoorDash. I got my food dropped off my porch. Instacart can drop off your whole grocery order at your house. Amazon and multiple stores online. You could buy clothes, you could buy whatever and get it delivered to your house. Furniture, everything. You have companies now like CarMax and Carvana where you could buy a car online and get it delivered to your house. You could do everything in your house. Now, Facebook, now known as Meta, has the metaverse. Well, those big-ass goggles that some people have, Apple is getting in the game. Oh, there's going to be a fight. Apple big, Meta big. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, D, Apple's off almost 25% from those January highs when it was at that $3 trillion market cap. And the last 2 weeks alone, just brutal for Apple, down about 12%. Analysts still searching for the bottom, but remaining optimistic. Wedbush's Dan Ives had a note out this morning saying iPhone demand is holding up better than expected, despite those supply chain and COVID shutdowns in China that we've been hearing about. But good news for Apple, given what we heard about demand from retailers this week. Meanwhile, reports yesterday about Apple's board got a demo of this new headset we've been hearing about for a while, and that's a sign that it's about to reveal it. This would be Apple's first major product since the Apple Watch over 7 years ago. Apple has been working on this for the better part of a decade, and now we're going to finally see what this thing is. Here's how we know it works based on all these reports. It's a mixed reality device, meaning it can do both augmented reality and virtual reality. It has these cameras on the outside that kind of pulls in the real world so you can see it on the screen in front of your face, and then puts those digital images in the real world in front of you. And then you can kind of ramp it up to full virtual reality experiences. It's also said to be using a version of the M1 chip that's been powering Macs for the last couple years, meaning it will work independently from the iPhone. And at first, it's likely going to be more about entertainment, gaming, and video. Think of it like an iPad on your face, content consumption, not creation or work. And by the way, Apple declined to comment on these latest reports, but just me watching Apple for the last dozen years or so, my best guess is we'll get a reveal of this thing in the fall with the iPhone event and a launch in early 23. And by the way, we know there are going to be rivals coming soon. Facebook/Meta has been teasing a similar mixed reality headset that's going to launch this fall. Mark Zuckerberg actually just gave a demo of it a couple days ago. And we could have a new platform war brewing between Meta and Apple. Guys, back to you.
It's going to be fascinating, Steve. And as you point out, it's been so long since we've seen a new product category. They're always met with a ton of skepticism, right, about the watch or services, about the use case, or about whether it's going to be large enough to move the needle.
Yeah, and that's right. And if you remember when the watch launched 7 years ago, it tried to do too much. It tried to be like an iPhone on your wrist. And they learned right away that, hey, this isn't going to work. We need to dial it back, make it more focused. No more running apps on your wrist. And I can see that kind of happening with this. They might have to test it out in the wild a little bit before we really figure out what this thing's going to do. And keep in mind, there's a longer term vision here to eventually replace the iPhone with glasses that look more like these Warby Parkers I'm wearing.
So, right now, Apple and Facebook, aka Meta, is going to be releasing these headsets. Now, a few years ago, several years ago, Pokemon Go was big. There was grown-ass adults running around with cell phones. that showed what they were looking at, kind of like a camera. But a Pokemon would be sitting there. Now, I've never played Pokemon Go. I've seen videos on it. People showed me a little bit. But you can see the Pokemon in the real world. Now, Apple and Facebook are making it to the point where you can see things on your phone in the real world with these glasses. So, say you're on like a video chat with somebody, you have these glasses on. These people can enter your world with their glasses and now look like they in your place and feel like you in your place. Right now, it's these big ass goggles, but they are working on, within the next 2-3 years, making them like normal eyeglasses. Google did something about a decade ago called Google Glass, which it was basically glasses with no frame except a thicker arm. But it was too advanced. There was some kinks in it, but nobody wanted it. People weren't used to smart wear. Phones that have the smartwatch. They even have a smart ring. They have glasses now that you can listen to music in your ear feeling like you have an earbud, but it looks like normal glasses. And nobody else can hear. Technology is taking over. This is kind of an extension of our body. We are kind of becoming a wearable cyborg. Interesting. Now, Matthew Watt says dope. Jose Santiago says VR is taking over. Jose also says watch the movie Ready Player One. I feel like we're going to be living in a time like that to come. I'm going to have to check out that film. Haven't seen it. But yeah, that was a little bit of tech news to show you people where we're going. I say it all the time. Hybrid and electric cars. You can be plugging in your car. Your car can charge your house. You can get everything delivered to your house. It's going to be great. But people are scared of change. Now, on some whole other shit, Bill Cosby, a.k.a. put a pill in the pudding, a.k.a. his barbecue sauce, a.k.a. Dr. Huxtable, a.k.a. rapist for 50 women. He's on trial again for an accusation this time with a minor. I feel like the first case where he had 50 accusers, where he made a deal in the disposition with the prosecutor that he would admit to everything, but wouldn't get jail time. And then that prosecutor retired, ironically. So that's why he was guilty but served no jail time. That reminded me like OJ getting away with murder, allegedly. And now this case where he's on trial for an incident at the Playboy Mansion, this is like OJ going to rob all his memorabilia back. He going to jail this time. Cosby, do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You going to jail. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
He may be out of prison, but he's still not out of legal hot water. Bill Cosby was back on trial today, this time facing a civil trial from a woman who says she was just 16 years old when the now disgraced comic molested her.
Bill Cosby is on trial again. Jury selection got underway today in the last remaining civil suit against the once beloved, now disgraced comedian. 64-year-old Judy Huff claims Cosby sexually molested her at the Playboy Mansion when she was 16. Bill Cosby is 84. He's not expected to testify or even attend the trial. Instead, jurors are likely to see video depositions he made several years ago. In an unexpected twist, just 2 weeks ago, Judy Huff changed the date she was allegedly assaulted from 1974 to 1975.
The accuser may have made an enormous misstep. For years, she said this happened in a certain year in the 70s. And then 2 weeks before trial, she says, I was wrong. It was a different year. That could destroy her credibility.
Huff's lawsuit claims when she emerged from the bathroom, she says she found Cosby sitting on the bed. He then proceeded to sexually molest her. Cosby's spokesman, Andrew Wyatt, is observing the L.A. court drama.
We feel that this is a trial by assassination to continue to assassinate his reputation, his character, and now his livelihood. And the facts don't add up to what Ms. Huff is stating.
Gloria Allred is representing Judy Huff.
This is not a trial by ambush. This is a trial by evidence.
In 2018, Cosby was sentenced to up to 10 years for indecent assault, but after serving 2.5 years in state prison in Pennsylvania, his conviction was overturned. He was released last year.
Approximately 60 women have accused Cosby of sexual misconduct, which he has denied, saying any encounters were consensual. He still faces one more lawsuit in connection with an alleged assault of an actress who appeared on The Cosby Show.
All right, so Cosby had the 60 accusers, did 2 years on a 10-year sentence. Got a sentence overturned for the reason I explained prior. Now he got 2 more cases. Bro, you can't have 62 accusations and be innocent. Now, Jose says it doesn't add up. She sounds confused. Now, I don't know. I'm not that old, but I'm already old enough to the point where there's sometimes I have some memories and I'm like, damn, what year was that? Now, she only off by a year. And that's just 1974. Okay? That shit is 48 years ago. You don't know if that shit was 48 or 49 years ago. You like, damn, it might have been 74. It was like 74, 75. I don't know. How many times have you heard that in the stories? Somebody be like, yeah, this happened. What year was that? I think it was like 86 or 87. I don't remember. Happens all the time. Now, Jose says it's a long-ass time ago. I agree. Now, everybody, please, that's watching this, share this for me. Share this. Please. Appreciate it. Now, we get to some fucked up news. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Steph, thank you. We have new details now in a Target 12 investigators exclusive, the punishment process.
Rhode Island has more child pornography cases come through federal court on average than in most other states in the country, due in no small part to aggressive investigations.
Target 12 investigator Tim White sat down with the chief judge of U.S. District Court in Providence, who says he's found a common thread among all defendants that have come before him for sentencing. Tim is here now with his exclusive findings.
Those who possess, distribute, or produce child pornography potentially face decades, sometimes even life in prison, but they are also likely to have been victims themselves. In 2019, Thomas Goodman of Warwick was sentenced to 260 years in prison for possession and producing child pornography.
That defendant is going to die in prison.
Correct. U.S. District Court Chief Judge John McConnell called the Goodman case one of the most egregious he's seen in 11 years on the bench.
It was a powerful sentence, but it was horrific actions that deserved it.
Goodman molested children and distributed videos and images of the crimes. McConnell says he didn't hesitate when handing down the severe punishment.
But the truth is, Tim, those are rare cases. Right, we could talk about rare cases, true, but
most are possession.
Most are possession.
How difficult is sentencing in a child pornography case?
It's probably the most difficult cases to sentence.
Few think those convicted in child pornography cases should go unpunished, but the question is, what is the appropriate sentence based on the individual's conduct? That debate got national attention during the nomination hearings of incoming Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Witness said she should be allowed to answer this question.
Brown Jackson was grilled by conservative members of the Senate Judiciary Committee for sentencing defendants below the recommended guidelines set by the U.S. Sentencing Commission.
The Sentencing Commission has been less than helpful on this issue. And that's because the guidelines on child pornography are old, they're not up to date.
A Target 12 review of local child pornography cases since 2019 shows of the 32 defendants convicted, the majority, 20, were sentenced below the recommended guideline range set forth by the U.S. Sentencing Commission. 5 were sentenced at the low end. Only 1 faced a harsher sentence.
In child pornography cases across the country, federal judges sentence people below the guideline range 63% of the time.
McConnell says he has found a common thread in all child pornography defendants.
In every child pornography criminal case that has come before me in my 11 years, every single one of them has suffered from a sexual assault trauma in their infancy or in their youth.
It's important to bring these cases. It's important to vindicate victims' rights and interest, and that's why we do it.
U.S. Attorney Zachary Cunha's office handles about a dozen child pornography cases a year.
We're lucky we have a very thoughtful bench here in the federal court, and we take our role seriously, and they take their role seriously, and ultimately it's their determination how they're going to sentence an individual defendant based on the facts and circumstances in front of them.
For McConnell, the solution has to come before a case lands in his courtroom.
We've got to get a handle as a society on finding new and better ways to prevent child molestation. Because not only does it victimize that person, but if the history of my courtroom is any indication, that person will then go on to victimize somebody else.
Earlier this month, President Biden nominated 7 people to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, which has had too few members to reach a quorum in the last few years. The president's picks need to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, 12 News.
So all these fucking diddlers apparently got diddled. 100% of them. That's fucked up. Mental health awareness. We need to do psych evals on people, like twice a year on everybody. Like kind of like renewing a license. Like review your brain. I don't know. We gotta do something. These sick fucks. That one guy got 260 years in jail. You could have just said life. I get it. I've never understood those sentences. You go 260 years in jail, 150-year sentence. Who is gonna live up to 260 years? So you telling me if that guy is like a fucking freak of nature and lives to 261 years old, he'll get released? What? It's life. It's not no weird shit. Now, check this out. We'll talk about it.
They came running back out to go get the lock cutters. And that's when hey, what's going on? We thought that he had locked the door. But later on, we found out that he had her handcuffed and chained.
An abducted woman is found chained inside a vacant West Pullman home.
Fox 32's Nate Rogers spoke with the man who helped rescue her, and Nate joins us now, live. Nate?
Yeah, that's right, guys. Anton Dobine just happened to be in the right place at the right time before notifying police of screams coming from a building that he had just been walking by. West Pullman residents now hoping this case will bring awareness about dilapidated and vacant properties citywide.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We're finna find out what's going on.
A Good Samaritan's keen awareness.
He was standing on the corner when I flagged y'all down, and then he went walking towards He went north.
A woman freed after being held against her will.
She's handcuffed and chained to a wall.
Saturday afternoon, Anton Dobine was walking in the Pullman neighborhood when he heard screams originating from this home along 119th and Eggleston.
As I got closer, I heard help. I said, hey, who is that? Bam, 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 help. That's when I called the police.
Once police arrived, they located a 36-year-old female in an upstairs bedroom who had been reportedly chained and handcuffed for at least 4 to 5 days. The woman told police she was abducted and raped by a man she previously knew.
What if that's a little girl in there? A little girl. What if it's multiple little girls in there?
You can go from Halstead to Michigan, from Michigan down the hill past Indiana. It's the south side.
Half a dozen homes on the block lay abandoned, many lawns overgrown with weeds, large trees, and debris. Neighbors say the home where the woman was found had been vacant more than 30 years. As police work to track down the attacker, Dobine says families here are now on edge.
And now I fear for every woman in that community because he's still at large.
And right now, still, that attacker appears to be at large. At last check, police telling us no suspects are in custody. The victim was treated at a local hospital and released. Reporting live downtown, Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
What the fuck? So this lady was chained up in a house. Thankfully, that man heard the screams and police rescue. But the other day in Rhode Island, there was the lady earlier this week who was found in a recycling bin. This one's chained up. People are sick nowadays. Mental health, people, please get help if you need it. That way you can get steered away from weirdo fucking rapist shit like this. Come on, people. Now, speaking of some mental health shit, there's been this celebrity trial going on for a while. It's rocked the internet. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Oh, the trial where Amber Heard shit on Johnny Depp's bed and a whole bunch of other shit. Well, Johnny Depp's ex, Kate Moss, just testified. Are they making a movie out of this? Or, like, are we just, like, following a mad long trial? Like, why is this taking forever? But, hey, check this out. We'll talk about it.
Please state your full name for the record.
Kate Moss.
Supermodel Kate Moss called to testify on behalf of her ex-boyfriend, Johnny Depp.
From where are you testifying today, Ms. Moss?
Gloucestershire, England.
Kate and Depp dated from 1994 to 1998. They were the it couple of the 90s. Their striking looks the focus of worldwide attention before they famously broke up. Kate was there to refute Amber Heard's testimony that she heard a rumor that Depp once threw Kate down a flight of stairs.
I just, in my head, instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him.
But Kate testified she was not pushed. She fell down the stairs.
And there had been a rainstorm, and as I left the room, I slid down the stairs.
She depicted Depp as a chivalrous gentleman rather than an abuser.
He came running back to help me and carried me to my room and got me medical attention.
Any cross-examination?
No, Your Honor.
Amber's team did not have a single question, and Moss's long-awaited testimony was over in just 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Amber seemed agitated during Kate's testimony and scribbled a stream of Post-it notes to her lawyers.
I'm noticing a very different Amber Heard today. She seems to be a bit more
anxious and that she's furiously scribbling notes at times, passing them to attorneys, mouthing things to her attorneys sitting next to her, sitting behind her. Also, her facial expressions seem a little bit more defiant.
After Moss's testimony, Depp was called back to the stand. He was asked about his honeymoon when he says Amber punched him in the face, a bruise he says you can see in this photo taken on the Orient Express.
I just remember that I took a pretty good shot to the face, to the eye, to somewhere up here. So I had a bit of a shiner.
What has it been like for you to listen to Ms. Heard's testimony at this trial?
Ridiculous, humiliating, ludicrous, painful, savage, unimaginably brutal.
Ridiculous, ludicrous, embarrassing, painful, hurtful. Yeah, she punched the fuck out of him. And then she tried to say, oh, well, he pushed Kate Moss down the stairs. She was like, nah, it was wet outside and I slipped. This chick, she trying to fuck up this man by lying on him. And she the one that needs the mental health help. This is May Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm on that shit. I'm telling you guys, you need help, go get it. Now, Nice Luciano in the comments says, good morning, Fall River. Robin Williams' voice. Nice also says, a recycling bin, what the fuck is this world coming to? Yes, that was an episode earlier in the week. And yeah, it's nuts. Her son was the one to find her. And I think the son did it. Nice also said, this trial doesn't even seem real. This is funny to me. It's like a movie. You can tell this chick is filmed. LOL, didn't used to hit him, old Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah. And Jose said that bitch cray. Word. She shit on his bed. What a human person shits on a bed? Purposely. What? And she's like, I immediately thought of what I heard about Kate Moss and I hit him. Okay. Wow. Huh? You are abusive. Just because you thought of something, you hit him. You weren't in any danger. You just thought of a rumor that you heard that was never confirmed and hit him. What the hell? Now, it's going to be hot out there this weekend. But know what else is hot? Fire. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
Tonight, charges for a deputy and a suspect who's seen here on fire at an Orlando gas station.
He picked up the discarded taser that was located in gas. It says, you're about to get tased, dude. Immediately after that statement, with the taser in his hand, the fire ignites.
Surveillance video showing 26-year-old Gian Barreto covered in flames. His attorneys, who provided the video from Wawa to NBC, say he was cooked alive.
We're not saying anything other than let's get the truth out. And it's not out.
Blue dirt bike, male doing wheelies.
Osceola County Sheriff Marco Lopez saying the February 27th incident started when 911 callers reported two men were driving dirt bikes aggressively and flashing guns at other drivers. A law enforcement helicopter followed, and it was at the Wawa gas station that deputies caught up with Barreto, whose bike they say matched the description of one of the suspects.
This is horrible, but you know what? What else do you do? It's the law. People call and complain. You got to go after these guys. You got to put a stop to it. It's bad behavior.
The sheriff saying Barreto was refueling when deputies confronted him. The gas cap was off and fuel started leaking. That's when the sheriff says Deputy Crawford fired a taser at Barreto and the gasoline ignited, setting Barreto and 3 deputies on fire. The case report cites the Bureau of Fire, Arson, and Explosives investigation, saying the taser was the probable cause of the inferno. Barreto's attorneys saying he had third-degree burns covering 75% of his body. Sheriff Lopez says deputies immediately got a fire extinguisher to put out those flames, and other deputies, including Crawford, suffered severe burns as well.
What the fuck? This is another one of those what the fuck stories. I know in Fall River we got a dirt bike and ATV. And I know that we don't have the best police department. We've discovered that there's a handful of bad apples. Even though there's good cops, we figured out there's a bunch of bad cops in Florida. I hope that no other cop in the world is stupid enough to shoot a taser, an electric current, with hundreds of volts at a gas station, especially when the taser is covered in gas. 75% of that man's body is burnt because this cop is a fucking moron trying to tase him at a gas station. And the 3 other cops caught on fire. Dumb fuck. And then the fucking chief guy goes, well, shrugs, what else are we supposed to do? They're breaking the law. What, you supposed to just set people on fire now? What the hell? This can't be life. This can't be real. Now, nice about the Amber Heard situation said, what? She dropped a shit log on his bed? The fuck? This bitch is crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, look it up, bro. The testimony's there. The video's not, well, not the video of her shitting on the bed, but shit's wild. Nice also said, that's crazy. I don't think there's anything wrong with people riding unless they're being reckless. Let them ride. My kids love seeing them pop wheelies and shit. To me, nothing wrong with riding. The only thing that's wrong is let the cop pulling out and using his taser. I agree. Listen, I don't like the guys on the bikes and ATVs running through red lights, swerving in between traffic, running stop signs, all that. That's not cool. But if you just driving on the street and you want to do a wheelie, go right ahead. That's on you. But don't interfere with traffic laws. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Now, people love money. People try their hand at gambling. People go to the casinos. Now, Rhode Island casinos, the employees are urging lawmakers to change something. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
We'll stop gambling with our health. That was the message from dozens of Rhode Island casino workers today who say they're suffering from secondhand smoke.
Right now, casinos are the only places people are allowed to smoke inside, but Rhode Island lawmakers are currently considering a bill that would ban indoor smoking once and for all. 12 News reporter Sheena Losciuto spoke to employees at a rally at the State House today, and she has their story tonight.
Well, it wasn't until masks were required and smoking was banned for a bit during the pandemic, a lot of these employees really realized the smoke is really hurting them, something they feel like they shouldn't have to worry about at work.
Not even a week after they lifted the mask mandate, they brought smoking back. It's been a horror show ever since then.
A horror show he calls work. Philip Farinelli is a floor supervisor at Bally's Twin River Lincoln, and he worries the place where he makes a living is killing him and his colleagues.
Secondhand smoke is a killer. There is no safe place, indoor or outdoors, from secondhand smoke. You can't avoid it.
This group here, made up by casino employees from both Lincoln and Tiverton, made their presence known at the State House Wednesday, showing support for a bill that would ban smoking inside the casinos, eventually walking down the State House steps where Governor McKee was signing the recreational marijuana bill.
It's a respiratory illness. Secondhand smoke causes respiratory illnesses.
In 2004, we passed a law that would ban smoking indoors. It was called the Workplace Protection Act.
Representative Teresa Tanzi is the lead sponsor of the bill that aims to ban smoking at the casinos. She says the Workplace Protection Act left too many people behind, pointing out that during the pandemic, she's told the smoking ban didn't really stop people from making bets.
The people who do smoke, they chose to continue to show up. They went outside and they had their cigarette and came back in and enjoyed the facility in a smoke-free environment. I can tell you it made a world of difference for the employees and for the patrons.
And we're still waiting to hear back from casino executives tonight to see how they feel about this bill. However, separate from this, we were able to speak to a spokesperson today. We asked them whether or not marijuana will now be allowed to be smoked inside the casino now that it's legal, and a spokesperson told us that the team is currently reviewing that.
So, the employees at these Rhode Island casinos want to ban smoking in the casino because they refer to the 2004 Workplace Protection Act that banned smoking indoors. The casinos, you can tell, aren't even considering changing that at all, because now that weed is recreationally legal in Rhode Island, they are reviewing and considering allowing you to smoke weed in the casino. That is dope. Know how many more people will be in the casino gambling, smoking a blunt, high as shit? People are going to spend more money. They smoking weed in the casino. People spend more money when they drinking. I'm just saying. Now, I got to talk about this. It's been in the news. It's one of those, like, weird shit that's going on. Like the weird bugs, murder hornets, all this other stuff. But I grew up with people around me having chickenpox. We've been talking about the monkeypox and how it was found here in Massachusetts. Let's see how that patient is doing and what's going on with him. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
The Massachusetts one patient with monkeypox is out of the hospital. Health authorities say he was cleared to be discharged from Mass General about 6 days after the Department of Public Health announced his diagnosis. Well, since then, we've learned more than 200 people are considered contacts of this patient. Contacts considered high risk are getting a dose of a smallpox vaccine that can reduce the risk of severe infection.
And so the net is intentionally very, very large. And then over time, what you do is talk to the individuals, you apply definitions of what you think is a risk exposure. Particularly, we're fortunate in this case that monkeypox really does require prolonged contact.
All right, so monkeypox, prolonged content. They are associating it with the LGBTQ plus community. And they're going to start giving people a version of the smallpox vaccine to stop from monkeypox. So that was a soft opening right there. They just slipping that out there. But wait till like 2-3 months from now, when they on the news saying, hey, come down and get your monkeypox vaccine. It's some new shit. It's a new world. Now, locally, and I'm sure nationally, there's been a lot of accidents, road rage. More people are out on the roads now because hey, we had about a year and a half of nobody really on the roads because quarantine and everything being shut down. So people are more anxious to road trips, do shit like that. But be careful out there. Check this out. We'll talk about it.
An update now at forward to a story we first told you about on WPRI.com that impacted hundreds of you last night. Police today now in Rehoboth say the driver involved in a police pursuit turned into a crash that ended in Rhode Island has nearly 100 criminal arraignments in the state of Massachusetts.
Police shut down a large portion of 195 eastbound last night after that police pursuit that began in Rehoboth ended with a crash in East Providence, and police say the driver, 29-year-old Carrie Guy, crossed the median from 195 west and then began going the wrong way down 195 east.
12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie joins us live in studio at 4. And Alex, new today, police in Rehoboth explained why they were pursuing this person in the first place.
Yeah, Brian and Kim, police in Rehoboth say around 7:30 last night, an officer was conducting a motor vehicle stop on Moulton Street on Route 118 for a speeding violation. However, when the officer approached that car to speak with the driver took off, and that's when this pursuit began. Now, Rhode Island State Police provide the most recent mugshot of this suspect from an incident back in 2015. Rehoboth police say Guy was driving a Ford F-150 truck and add that he made 2 attempts to strike the cruiser of the pursuing officer from Rehoboth. At that point, the suspect drove onto Route 195 West in Rehoboth, crossed the median strip, and traveled west in the wrong direction over the Rhode Island border into East Providence. Police in Rehoboth say they stopped their pursuit when the truck continued to drive in the wrong way into Seekonk. Police say the driver also failed to stop for police in East Providence and then crashed their truck. Now, state police say Guy will face a slew of charges, including 5 counts of driving to endanger resulting in personal injury, driving to endanger resulting in physical injury, and reckless driving. Police added that Guy will be charged by Rehoboth police for numerous offenses there related to that police pursuit, including failure to stop, assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and driving on a revoked license as a habitual traffic offender. Live in studio.
All right. So this shitbag gets in a police chase from Rehoboth to East Providence. And from Seekonk to East Providence, he's driving in the wrong lane of traffic, head on with other vehicles. People, be safe. Don't drive like a fucking idiot. This guy, 100 arraignments. That's him being hit with 100 different charges. What the fuck? Now, let me get to these comments before I wrap this up. Now, about the casinos considering getting rid of cigarettes, but getting weed in there. And I said, that's ill. I'm smoking reefer in the casino. Fire. Jose said, word, I would be smoking mad blunts playing blackjack. Nice said, bro, they trying to take us humans out with all these crazy viruses and other shit that can kill you. First COVID, now monkeypox. This shit crazy for real, for real. I don't think that the governments in the world are trying to take us out. I think all of us polluting the world and all these chemicals that are in our air, that's fucking us up. But we just reckless and just be burning mad shit and having all these toxins go into the air and expecting the air that we breathe not to still have this shit in it. But that's neither here nor there. Now, Roger says, bunch of excessive charges for one incident, but he wasn't white. Hey, listen, Roger, they always hit everybody, white people included. I can speak for that. With multiple charges, that way if a few get dismissed, one of them still sticks. So anything that's relevant to the case or laws and shit that overlap, they'll get charged. Now, Matthew Scott says, I honestly think he was, but still, police problems. I agree, but hey, don't be a shitbag and drive in the wrong lane of traffic. You putting everybody else at risk. kids, everything. Kim Texera Richardson says, wear your seatbelt. Yes, people. Now, like I said plenty of times before, I need you guys' help. I'm in Facebook jail. We need to hit the average of 200 shares. That's the goal. I can't share right now, so I'm depending on you guys. You can share multiple times. Let's get these numbers up. Like I said, all we need is 20 people to share 10 times. And tag your people in the comments, tag people in a post. If you hit share, hit right post, you can hit the little blue head on a person and tag up to 50 people on your cell phone and up to 100 people on a laptop or tablet. Let's run these views up. Show support is free, and I highly appreciate it. Now, if you are a small business owner, a local artist, or musician, you looking to try to get your product or services promoted, contact me, Aaron Oneida, for sponsorship packages starting as little as $10 per episode, $40 for the week. And packages include logo design, graphic design, flyers, video editing, podcasts, interviews, social media promotion, custom merchandise, and more. Just hit me up and we'll discuss package prices. Now, I start and end every episode with community resource information featuring soup kitchen and food pantry schedules and emergency and childcare services. If you, a friend, a family member, loved one need any of these resources, don't be ashamed to utilize them. That's what they're there for. Inflation's up, gas is up, but wages are the same. So use it. All of that being said, again, share, like and follow the page. Turn on notifications. That way you know when I go live. I go live Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. here on the floor of Rexperience. Check me out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Drive safe. Don't lock nobody up in hostage situations. Don't put nobody in a recycling bin. Don't do none of that dumb shit. Please just be positive, do the right thing, stay out of trouble. And if you ride in dirt bikes and ATVs, just fucking ride them normal, all right? It's your boy Aaron All Nighter. Forever, you know, I'm off this.
Everybody up the hill! Everybody up the hill! Everybody up the hill!
Aaron All-Nighter. Big salute to you. I wanted to give Aaron All-Nighter a shout out at the beginning of the show, and I'm glad you brought that up. We just did. Nah, we didn't forget. It was just like Sandro D was here, and he had a lot to say
about bees on his head.
Fucking bees and fucking
bees on my head, but don't call me a bee.
Yo, what? How do you know about Andy Melanakis? I got cheese on my head, but don't call me a cheesehead. Aaron All-Nighter is one of the biggest supporters for anybody that's like doing something positive.
If you're bored at work and you want to watch him, I watch him every day when I'm bored at work. Monday through Friday, I get a good laugh while I'm at work.
Every weekday.
I actually call him at work too.
Yeah, 8:30 to 10. 8:30 to 10.
I think 8:30 to 10:30. Get it right.
I don't know if it's, well, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 8:30 to 10 because I looked it up before
I think it's 10:30, but maybe I'm wrong.
Stop it, Rizzo. Stop it. Aaron All-Nighter, 8:30 to 10.
I'm saying 10:30, Aaron.
Monday through Friday. Watch that show.
Local's your number one fan.
It's the show is called the Florida Rexperience. It's on Facebook.
Is that? I thought it was Espresso.
See?
What the hell was you thinking?
What the hell was you thinking?
Just